there's the pull to not use anything to see, to try to prove, is that actually true?
And we are off and running here for this second game. Both players off on the top screen to a very strong start. A nice little combo there from Sarros, getting some pieces down with a double combo. And looks like this is going to be a good combo setup here from Twitchycatpants, getting that
Ooh, nice.
little staggered short stack there, and then another stack that's already down to 10. Catpants playing fantastically well. Catpants has more of that versus pedigree. So this is their first time taking on speed. It's a little bit of a different beast, but there is a little bit of crossover for strategy, Larva.
Yes, especially if you're someone who takes more of a clear all of the viruses off of the board strategy in versus. We really like to see when people try to top somebody else out, but there are, valid reasons for both. So Catpant's gonna be out at a 104, and Sarah's not far behind. He has those two blues stacked together, so he's gonna be out at 114.
Sarros taking that first game out of mind. And going along the versus pedigree, there's also the ability to just play off of misplays, because versus is about 90% forced misplays, whether it's by yourself or by your opponent. So it's learning to adapt to an ever-evolving board. As little bit of trouble here for Twitchycatpants, stacked up a little high, maybe looking to tuck a red over, maybe a red-yellow to drop things down. No, just saying, I'm going to take this and we're going to deal with the garbage. Wanted to address that before the speed got a little too high. I think that's the right play here. It hasn't cost them that much time here, as it's 14 to 10, but a couple of double reds here for Sarros, and Sarros is right back in this game.
Yeah, and something I have noticed with Twitchycatpants, they do seem to be a one-way flipper. So that is something that might be a slight hindrance to them later on, especially if they want to progress into gold bracket and things like that. Usually that tends to favor people who can flip their viruses multiple ways.
Yeah, those B flips are very, very important. Not a lot of people do that B flip, or they do B flips only and don't do A flips. But still, very, very important strategy here. Nice cross by Knucklebuster as they are down to 4 and holding on to a slight lead. A little bit of a tricky board, as there's those 2-bit viruses a little bit buried down, but this drop down is going to be very, very helpful for Knucklebuster, and it's going to be a forced combo unless they get that double blue, and they do. So now they are free and clear, going to get the horizontal out at a 316. Not far behind is Donatello. Donatello just needing a few more here. Going to go underneath. Oh, pushed it a little bit too much. Swam a little bit too much into the tide there, and out at a 329, but still anybody's game here, as both players in level 6. Taking a look at the top of the board here, Catpants playing a little bit precariously high again, down to 22, but Sarros is going on an absolute tear right now, down to 13 viruses and taking a pretty good lead here partway through level 6, looking for an option with that red-yellow, playing it and dropping things down, and I like this play. It's setting up as well for a blue piece to drop, although that red piece is going to be kind of a bummer. That's going to block out the horizontal clear, but does have a good clear area here overall, looking maybe to get that red off the board, and does so, drops down, and maybe going for the under clear there, Larva, with the red in column 6.
Yes. They have they've cleared out some of that yellow, but then they put a little bit more yellow there, so just a little bit that they have to clear out. The double red's going to be great, and then they're basically free and clear to get that yellow. Meanwhile, on the bottom, it is 4 viruses to 10 in level 6. Knucklebuster with the lead. And a nice drop combo to get rid of a lot of garbage.
Sarros holding on to a pretty commanding lead here into 7 first at under 5 minutes. And Catpants just having issues, was stacked up high a couple of times on 6, really just in danger of topping out, but now working things through here, setting things up beautifully, and is going to get this horizontal. I like this play. This is going to set up a
Oh,
double.
beautiful.
It's going to set up a nice play on red, and also setting up an underclear. Really nice board vision there from Twitchycatpants. And it looks like at a 524, Donatello is going to be going into 7 first, and looking for a combo drop is Knucklebuster out at a 531. So neck and neck essentially on the bottom of your screen between Knucklebuster and Donatello. And SgtSarros already tearing through, looking for a lot of red help though in that upper right corner, Larva.
Yeah, there's just a ton of red. He does seem to be setting up for this drop combo. Does leave a little bit of garbage, but can be pretty easily taken care of, as long as they get the right pills later on.
Absolutely, and it's a good play. You're ahead by a little bit. You can't stay too comfortable, but it's looking to be a vertical setup now for SgtSarros, and now it just has those 3 pieces of blue garbage. Can go blue-red really either way there, dropping that yellow down. Now it's opening things up, and I think making the right play, setting for that drop combo. It is a little bit of drop time, but it's not terrible. And I like that also, that yellow piece. That's going to set up a horizontal. Although on that right side or the left side of the horizontal for those double yellows in row 1, going to be a little bit tougher. So maybe going to be a forced vertical clear here. And that looks like that's the play from Sarros, as Sarros now just needing a little bit, just a very little bit of help here. And okay, going to go horizontal. I like it. And that's going to get Sarros a decider here out at a 656. Really good bounce back from what looked to be a very tough game 1.
Exactly, and that's what we were talking about. Sometimes you just have to, let that first game go, let whichever game it is, just get it out of your system, reset, and continue on.
Knucklebuster, that's a tough misplay. That double blue just staring you in the face. You're going to be forced to underclear, although it's academic at this point because it is a win for Donatello. So double decider. We love it.
We do. We're going to get everybody set back up and on to the last game.
Everybody getting a crown here in round 1. And it does look like Larva's going to have to step away. Thanks for joining me for these first couple matches, Larva. Sounds like I'm going to have John Dat Flindo joining me here in just a moment. So stand by for that. And I think he's here. John Dat Flindo, are you with me?
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for stepping in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Larva's going to address something. So we're going to have you and me a little bit of a warm up because we're calling the next set of matches too. But bonus Dr. Mario here is we have a double decider, so we are waiting on some readies here. And all these players, they got to be happy with what they're doing. Everybody picked up a crown. So really, obviously, you'd like to take home the victory for the match and advance, but can't be too terribly upset by losing 1-2. You got yourself a win, and even a 2-1, and even a 2-0. I mean, you got to try to take the positives out as we get things going here. Scattered boards really for everybody here. I'm really hoping for a red yellow here for Knucklebuster. You get that nice fat log and right in the middle of the board and gets it. So really opens up that left side of the board. So it's really only the right side that's going to be a bit of an issue for Knucklebuster. Meanwhile, Donatello here already off to the races, getting some clears on the bottom part of the board, getting that right side open up. And now the left side's open up a little bit. Can't really do too terribly much, but doing what you can here as it is 14-13 on the bottom, tied for the most part up top.
Yeah, up top has been a really nice match between Catpants and SgtSarros. Both have had some really nice boards. Both started out pretty high at the top. You see Sarge has worked his down to just red and yellow, which is going to be interesting for him if he starts to getting blue. Would love to see him go for this horizontal with the reds. He does go for it. Going to take a little bit of drop time with that yellow. Had a little bit of other places that he could have put it, but still a really nice play. Meanwhile, over on Catpants' side, down to 4 viruses remaining. She's mostly needing blue at this point, actually only needing blue with this yellow-red. A little surprised that she didn't go ahead and take the sacrifice of drop time to drill the blue down. But I think a lot of that just comes from her play in versus, as it's going to be Sarge up first at about a 123, but Catpants right behind, just needing 2 more blues, and she's going to be joining him.
And drop time's a little bit more beneficial in versus. It gets you time to examine the board, and usually your board is chaotic as all get out. You don't really have that luxury in speed play. You've got to think about your next 2-3 plays, and it's a bit of a tough transition. We've seen it from some of our best players, but when you play exclusively versus, sometimes that comes a little bit slowly. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just new things to learn and adapt from. But a good opening combo by Twitchycatpants. Looking at the bottom of the screen here, Knucklebuster, bit jammed up. Everything on that left side for the most part, save for about 4 viruses. Having to tuck a blue, yellow in there. But working things out here and looking, this double blue is fortuitous. And an L, yeah, getting things going here. Now really starting to gain momentum. It is 12-11. Very highly competitive on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it's been really nice to watch on that bottom game. Looking at Donatello's board, he had a really interesting looking board where he had a bunch of viruses on the top, and then he had this big gap between the top and the bottom of his board. He's got it worked down, and it's looking really nicely for Donatello. Everything's open, pretty much has a place for just about every pill. This blue red going to be perfect for him. Takes a little bit of drop time, but not going to be too detrimental for him. Just now looking for reds and yellows. Gonna go ahead and clear out the yellow, take a little bit of garbage on the top, but it's not a big deal as he can clear underneath, just needing 3 more yellows, and Dawn will be out. Speaking of out, KB gets out first at about a 307.
307 is an excellent time here to get out of these first 2 levels. The expectation here is about the same for 6 to 9 for our players in the silver bracket. Anything in that minute and a half range is great. That speed and just knowing what to do with everything, that just comes with practice. And I like this double yellow tuck. That's going to get 2 in the middle of the board, opening things up. Maybe a double red for KB over on that middle of the board rather. Meanwhile, Donatello's a bit stuck. There's going to be a bit of drop time and a very, very split board for Donatello. This is a rough board, John.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of drop time. And aside from the drop time, there's a lot of blue on that board for Don, and he's doing the best he can with what he's been given. Fortunately, he's been getting those blues to work through, but down to just 1 remaining yellow on the entire board. So that's really going to be a pain point for him. As we look up at the top left of your screen, Catpants already into her level 6. She was out at about a 409, joining SgtSarros, who has about a 13 virus lead at this point. Really nice play to get that yellow garbage out of the way, avoiding that drop time. It's really crucial in speed to make sure you can bring that drop time down as little as possible. Currently 7 viruses to 21 up there. Sarge just needing a lot of red, Catpants needing a little bit of everything, but mostly red at this point. Meanwhile, we go back down to the bottom of your screens. We see Knucklebuster needing a lot of red, clears out that last blue with a really nice combo. And Donatello just making some pretty good work here, needing mostly red, but going to be out of here pretty soon as he gets some.
Yeah, and KB is down to their final 2. It's a red situation for both players on the bottom of that screen. Catpants is doing phenomenal work here. Is down by 9 viruses, but Sarros out at a 507 has that final board and pretty high stacked, which is beneficial to that early game and really gives you options as well on the bottom of the board. Kind of get some under clears. It does eliminate a little bit of horizontal play, depending on how the garbage falls down to the bottom. You try to sometimes almost want to intentionally drop some garbage to the bottom of that screen, just so you're ready and prepared for example, that double blue in row 3.
Yeah, looking up at our top match, we have SgtSarros already in level 7. Catpants just fighting to get those pills that she needs. Finally going to be able to get it. Takes the drop time. I like the decision because you just don't know when those blues are going to pop up. Out at a 553, but a 13 virus deficit for her right now. It's not something she can overcome, but she's going to need a lot of the right pills pretty darn quick here. As we go back to the bottom of your screens, we have KB with 8, Donatello with 24. KB needing a lot of red to get through this board, JB.
Yeah, KB is going to need a lot of red, but you can also play a little bit deliberate here and set things up without too much hesitation. You just got to play confidently. Obviously, you're looking for a double red. That would really open up column 7 and 8 because there's that red straggler kind of at the top of the board, and really just not getting much of anything red. But a good setup here, setting up a little well to get some underclears. I like that underclear with the yellow, so it's all red all the time. 4 viruses to go. Donatello not out of this by any means, but is going to need a lot of help, a lot of doubles here to continue to get things going. Meanwhile, at the top of your screen, it is SgtSarros with 8. It is Catpants with now 19 viruses to go, as both players having a bit of misdrop trouble, but a good clear there on that first column, and maybe a fat bolt coming into play here. And there it is, a fat bolt. We love seeing those. 14 viruses to go. Sarros looking for blues. He's going to need something here quick. He's maybe looking for an underneath Alia. It's a bit risky, but if that double blue comes, electing not to go for it, and of course getting the double blue after I call for it, I apologize profusely for that commentator's curse. But it looks like Knucklebuster taking the victory on the bottom of your screen with a 7 flat, and will be advancing to the second round. And so will SgtSarros at a 732. Sarros felt like he had a bit of a disastrous start, but had an incredible bounce back, Flendo.
Yeah, Sarros did a great job getting back, and it's just like you said earlier. Sometimes when you have those games, you just gotta brush it off your shoulder and see what happens in the next 1 or 2 games. And he's proved that, as he has gone on to win with the reverse sweep versus Catpants. GG's to all of our players.